what is the Rh factor? And why is there a blood type that doesn't want to mix with another? If we look at a red blood cell, it can have different antigens on its surface. Type O has no A or B antigens. Type A has A antigens. Type B has B antigens. And AB has both. On top of that, you also have the rhesus factor. Rh positive usually means you have the D antigen. Rh negative means you don't. What's interesting is how they interact. Rh negative blood can be given to Rh positive, but not the other way around. However, compatibility still depends on the main blood group. So if you're, for example, Rh negative B, you can give to both negative and positive B. But a positive cannot give back to a negative. And if you're Rh negative O, you can give to almost everyone, a kind of universal donor, but not always without issues long term. There is, however, something even more extreme. It's called Rh null, not to be confused with O. Some people call it golden blood because it has none of the Rh antigens at all, not just one missing, all of them. But the main blood group still matters. So if someone is both type O and Rh null, that would be the closest thing to a true universal red cell donor, and it's incredibly rare. Only around 6 to 7% of people worldwide are Rh negative, and most of them are found in Europe. One of the highest known concentrations is found among the Basque population. The Basque people live in a region between northern Spain and southwestern France, around the Pyrenees, and they stand out in several ways. They have their own culture, their own language, Euskara, which is believed to be one of the oldest surviving languages in Europe, possibly older than the Indo-European language families, and they have an unusually high percentage of Rh negative blood. There are a lot of theories around Rh negative, everything from aliens to reptilians to claims that royal bloodlines have it. Interesting ideas, just not much to hold on to. What made me look into this in the first place is more personal. I'm Rh negative myself, and during my pregnancy, I had serious complications because my child was Rh positive from the father. Even though it's monitored and treated, it can still go wrong quickly, because negative and positive blood don't just mix safely. And that's kind of wild to think about, that there's a blood type that can react strongly against another. The name rhesus comes from early research involving rhesus monkeys, but different animals have different blood systems. Not all of them have the same Rh factor as humans. Today, researchers usually describe Rh negative as a missing antigen, as if something is simply not there. But that's not the full picture. They found people who are Rh negative where you can still trace parts of the gene linked to Rh positive, but it doesn't function the same way. In some cases, it looks altered or incomplete, like something has changed. Rh negative is most often linked to a complete deletion of the RHD gene. In other cases, it is linked to inactive, altered, hybrid, or weak forms of the gene, where traces can still be detected. And then there are cases where no clear traces are found at all. So if the gene is absent, how do we know it was always there to begin with? Is this just random mutation over time, as we're told? Or something else? Researchers say the Rh system likely has a function, possibly related to membrane stability or transport of certain molecules, but the exact role isn't fully understood. If the body can function without it, why is it there in the first place? And why does removing it not seem to affect everyone in an obvious way? Maybe it's just mutation, isolation, and inheritance. That is the official explanation. So, what if, a very long time ago, something was added or removed? Today, we can already influence how cells produce proteins. We can turn genes on and off, edit them, change how biology behaves. Maybe that's nothing new. Maybe, at some point in the past, we were further ahead. But for me, the most interesting part is still the Basque population, a relatively isolated people, a high concentration of Rh negative blood, one of the oldest surviving languages in Europe, and a genetic pattern that still raises questions. Maybe I should go there myself, to the Basque region, see what's actually hiding in the stone formations and whatever ruins are left.